You can be the smartest person in the room, yet if you don't speak clearly, no one is going to notice. Studies show that people who speak clearly are seen as at least 24% more competent, even when they say the same thing as somebody else. My challenge is that I'm a neurodivergent and an introverted leader. The way I prefer to speak just doesn't translate to the majority of people. I have to make sure that I speak clearly so that others can even understand me. In the next few minutes, I'll give you my 5-step system that I use and teach to help people speak with clarity, structure, and leadership presence. Let's dive in. In step number 1, I'm going to be reading and listening to as many authors and as many ideas as I possibly can. And the reason behind this is that I'm going to be improving and expanding my vocabulary. And at the same time, whilst I'm going to be exposed to their original thoughts, I'm going to also be exposed to the way they structure and they organize their thoughts, and as well as their delivery. So this way, I'm actually going to be reverse engineering the way I can actually organize my own delivery, my own structure, and my own thoughts. So another reason why I also read and listen to as many books as I can is that people who actually wrote them, it took them a lot of time and effort to actually write those books. They had to research the topic, they had to understand the structure and the way they want to structure their books. So let's just take an example of Ali Abdaal's book.
Book took like 3 years worth of work. It was 3 years of research that I was doing. We had one full-time research assistant, one part-time research assistant. We had a professional editor in America, another professional editor in America, another professional editor in London. We had an agent who has read and represented loads and loads of books, and she gave loads of feedback on it. We had a book proposal guy who worked on Atomic Habits by James Clear, so he gave loads of feedback on the book. And so it was like about 3 years worth of work with many, many hours each week dedicated to just producing the text of the book.
If you can, just read books, even fiction. It doesn't matter what you're reading. Just read so that you can expand your range, expand your knowledge, and choose a content that matches your energy and curiosity. Don't force yourself to read a specific book if you don't feel like it. Read a book or listen to a book that suits your mood at that time, that suits your curiosity. You can be curious about one thing this month, and you can be curious about a completely different thing the next month. So normally I have around 10 to 20 books that I actually read at any given time. So I may be reading at the moment this book, Neuroscience for Leaders, but at the same time, I'm reading this book, The Drama of the Gifted Child. But when I don't feel like reading these heavy books, I may actually be reading this about the Roman army, because I actually graduated from this and I find it fascinating. But then I may actually be listening to some podcasts or just listening to some novels. Like currently, I actually just finished I think it was 5 books about the Lincoln lawyer. I am probably listening or reading between 2 to 3 hours a day. But that's just the way I do it. You don't have to. But I do advise you to start with at least 10 to 30 minutes per day. In step 2, I process my thoughts by writing. So writing slows down my thoughts and actually brings me clarity. It will also reveal gaps in my logic, and it will help me connect the ideas, connect the dots. And writing is kind of like a rehearsal for speaking. It forces complete, coherent sentences. The way you can incorporate writing into your routine is you can set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes daily. Write about something that you're learning, that you're stuck on, or that you're just curious about, or something that you just read. Here, don't worry that much about grammar, but just aim for clarity. Is it clear to you what you're saying? And just think, is it clear to somebody else if you were saying that sentence, if they would be reading your sentence? You can think about writing as your first rep of communication. How am I communicating with the world? How can I be better at communicating with everybody else around me? In step 3, I organize my message before I speak, because structure gives my ideas clarity, credibility, and focus, and it actually prevents me from rambling and will increase the impact that I'm having when I'm actually speaking. And at the same time, as being an introvert and a neurodivergent, organizing my message is going to help the listeners follow, remember, and act on what I say. If I didn't do that, it would actually me be just rambling about everything that I'm saying and that I want to say without having any coherent thoughts and structure. Just like I'm doing on this YouTube video, I have a clear structure plan on what I need to say, how I need to say it, and when I need to say it. I have my bullet points ready so that I can actually present it to you in an orderly and clear fashion. And so the way you can do this is, if you're caught in a meeting that somebody asks you something, just pause for 3 or 5 seconds before responding. Outline your thoughts mentally. It's completely okay. Nobody expects you to answer within the second. And what you can do is also you can use the SMART method to actually check this. So SMART is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. If you can't use the SMART framework, which if you're asked a question in meetings or somewhere else, you pretty much can't because it's a little bit more too complex, you can apply the simple 2 frameworks. So point, reason, example, or problem, solution, benefit. So as an example here is, I propose a 2-week delay. It gives us time to fix the top 3 bugs and ensures we meet the quality goals by June 30th. This sentence is clear enough so that people can understand it and can take actions upon it. So remember that clarity gets followers, complexity just gets ignored. So in step number 4, I practice speaking daily, out loud and on purpose. Because fluency is going to come from reps, not just theory. And speaking clearly is going to lower my anxiety and is going to build my confidence. And practicing out loud turns thoughts into clear speech, even under pressure. The way we and our brain processes our thoughts is that when we think of something, we may think it's amazing, that our structure is amazing and clear, but that's just the theory. When we actually speak it out loud, that's the real test. So this is why I practice it daily and regularly. And so how do I do this? Well, besides from speaking on YouTube and pretty much almost doing this daily, I advise you to record a voice note or video of yourself explaining something. And if you don't want to do something like this, you can use a program such as Ultra Speaking, which is free, by the way. The one thing that I want to tell you here is that don't chase perfection, because you're never going to be perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. Even when I'm speaking right now, even with editing, I'm not going to be perfect. Just show up daily, just the way that I'm doing. And in the end, you're going to succeed. In step number 5, I get feedback, review, and reflect. And this helps me understand where are my blind spots? What do I need to improve? How can I improve myself? This feedback also shows whether my message actually landed or not. So YouTube for me is perfect because I can see through the analytics if you're still listening to me, if my message actually got on spot, or what I promised in this video actually landed. What did I promise that I didn't keep? Or do I need to improve something? Do I need to improve my clarity, my tonality, and everything else beside that? And so the way you can do this is you can record yourself weekly, either a mock pitch, update, just a short story, or even present during meetings with your colleagues, and then just ask for feedback. What could you improve? Were you clear? Were you confident, concise? So what I am doing and what I implore you to do is to have this constant reflect, tweak, repeat process over and over and over again, because this is one of the ways, and this is one of the best ways how we can actually grow and improve ourselves over and over again. As a neurodivergent and introverted leader, it is crucial for me to speak clearly so that others can understand me. And the way I do this is that I absorb high quality language. I write to process and clarify my thinking. I organize my message with a simple structure. I speak out loud with intention and consistency, and I review and improve through reflection and feedback. Being able to lead and speak clearly is about being consistent and intentional.